Today we're going to see how things look in Hearts of Iron 4 if Germany begins the 1936 start date as a democratic nation with 100% support for the ruling party. Focus trees are untouched, factions are untouched, everything is the same as in vanilla except for the ruling party and their support. I'm super excited to bring more Hearts of Iron to the channel, and I'm currently working on some fun stuff involving Civ 6 for some future projects, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ding that little bell so you don't miss out on these dope videos when they drop. So here we have it, the most beautiful German Republic here, led by Konrad Adenauer, or however that is pronounced, and we have a 100% democratic, absolutely fully legitimately elected government here of Sir Conrad, and he is surrounded by a bunch of other democracies. You got the UK, France, Czechoslovakia, Austria, all these places. I think these guys are non-aligned, but either way, these guys are still going to be part of the Axis, because the only thing I plan to change is the ideology that is accepted and then the ideology that is in charge. I don't plan to change anything outside of that, but if you guys have suggestions for something else you'd like to see, like a fascist UK or France, let me know in the comments below, because I'm definitely more open into getting into videos like Hoi 4, maybe Civ 6 or something like that. So let me know if you guys would like to see something like that, and if you have a mod or something that you think would be a fun thing to showcase on this channel, make sure you let me know that in the comments below as well. But I'm sure you guys know how we usually find this out, and it's going to be the same way we do it with every other game. We turn it on up to speed 5 and unpause. So obviously Germany is going to start off by uniting the Rhineland, just like they do in vanilla, because we do have historical AI focuses on. However, they are going to be democratic, so they're not going to be as warmongering, or at least they shouldn't be. I don't actually know exactly how this will go. I did one test run and it was interesting, so I hope this one will be as well. But yeah, they will continue to go down Rhineland and finish out their historical path, so certainly some interesting stuff will eventually happen, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I remember watching a lot of Drew Durnall's old videos, and shout out Drew Durnall, your content was awesome and inspired this channel, but I remember in a lot of his videos he would use mods like Road to 56 and stuff like that. If you guys would like to see stuff like that, let me know in the comments as well. I know I ask for you to leave comments, but genuinely I want feedback, especially on the Hearts of Iron content, because if I can make the best Hoi 4 like AI content, I want to do it, and I want to make sure that I'm broadening my audience, allowing more people to find content that they can enjoy on here on this channel. Of course, we have the inaugural war between the nationalists and the Republicans in Spain, and Germany has decided to go down the economic path here after the Rhineland, remilitarizing the Rhineland. So we'll see how exactly that goes with them, whether they're going to go down a few more of these or if they're just going to get right into conquest, though I think they have to have a certain number of troops in the field in order to go down some of these guys, so like they can't even do the Anschluss quite yet, but I'm sure they will eventually. Going down anti-Comintern a little early. I feel like they probably wouldn't do that in vanilla, because they generally go with the treaty with the USSR and the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact first. I don't know what that's all about. And yeah, the Soviet Union has a very bad opinion of the German Republic. So probably not going to be any Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, at least not that I can assume. And now we have the based anarchists rising up over here in Aragon. Catalonia should be independent, and all those jokes need to be inserted. Looks like the nationalists are going to win as per usual. I don't actually know if that's a thing, like if they win every single game. I know that used to be a thing. They basically win every single time, and I assume that's still the case for Hoi 4. And I spoke too soon, because they are actually going for the treaty with the USSR, which I assume means they're going to go for the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. So I think they just went for this anti-Comintern pact because their historical focus tells them that they don't need to go this far before they do Anschluss, but now they can do Anschluss. So I don't know, man. The AI is being weird, and I assume it's going to get even more weird. And despite being able to do the Anschluss, they're just going down their economic path, going for that sweet coal liquidization, which interesting fact about history, the Weimar Republic actually did a bit of this investment into coal liquidization, which is actually interesting because coal was like already in short supply in the Weimar Republic, Germany. And a lot of people actually credit the lack of oil in Germany as the reason why Germany lost the war. Many people believe that if Germany had oil, they probably could have went on to defeat the Russians in that front, as well as prevent, Normandy and all that stuff. So pretty interesting bits of history. How true it is, I don't know. But either way, they're going for the Anschluss now. So soon we're going to see stuff starting to heat up. And with the Treaty of Madrid, nationalist Spain rules supreme over the Iberian Peninsula, with their friend of Portugal, as well as the good old Rock of Gibraltar hanging out under Great Britain. But yeah, nationalist Spain is now Spain. And who can say that Austria is not German? So now the Anschluss has been done, and I assume they're going to immediately go through synthetic rubber. So a little bit more economic stuff. But yeah, they will also go for the Sudetenland eventually, I assume, because they are able to. And if they have AI focuses on, they should do it. There's no ideology trigger for it, so they should be able to do it. And with the Sudetenland brought into the fold, the German Republic, not the Reich, the Republic, don't get it twisted, the German Republic grows stronger. And that puts Germany up to 153 factories in 1938, which is pretty crazy when you consider the fact that the UK only has 117, France only has 90. So Germany already has almost double what they do, and the Soviets only have 138. Despite being very much bigger than the German Republic. So yeah, Germany is already off to a very good start, despite not having the, all the benefits that they do of being the brown guys. But they do have the MIFO bill still, so they are getting the bonuses for construction speed for that, but they are still losing the PP gain that they normally would have. And I'm pretty sure Mustache Man gives them extra PP. I could be wrong, but yeah, so give and take. There's a little bit of give and take for sure. Now, of course, the fate of Czechoslovakia has been determined, and we have the Slovak Republic, the puppet state of the German Republic. And sorry, I'm laughing a little bit here. My buddies in the Discord, we were chatting about funny music memes from like Civil War era music. All sounds the same when we were talking about the trap remix for the Union Dixie. So if you guys want to join in on some of that fun stuff, join the Discord. It's linked in the description. And if you support the channel by clicking the join button below the video, becoming one of the homies, you get early access to these videos, and you'll also get some exclusive roles in the Discord, and you won't be put into the chats with all the rabble, so to speak. Anyways, over 160 factories for the Germans, and their next thing is going to be Danziger War. Okay, I don't know if they will declare war on that. I don't actually know if they can, even if they did have justification. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I can say this did not happen in my test run. So now Germany did declare the war on Poland. I think they actually like bypassed it in the first one. So it looks like right now Germany is just doing what Germany does and going to war with Poland. And judging by all the green in these bubbles, I don't think it's going to be going well for the Poles. Oh, yikes, but the Germans are taking some casualties. The Poles with the tenacious defense. Also losing a bunch of men to France as well. Usually the losses are like 3-1 for Poland, but yeah, they're taking the clay, but they are losing a lot of manpower. Poland, of course, goes down, and a bunch of guns have been seized for the Germans. They're still at war with France and the UK. I don't know if they're going to go around the Maginot, but they are definitely at war with the Maginot. And yeah, turns out the Netherlands are going to catch these hands as well. So despite whether they are brown shirts or blue shirts, I guess, looks like Germany just wants to catch some action. And then, of course, we have the German speed bump of Belgium, also going to get rolled with very little to no resistance for the Germans. The Germans are pushing, and it's only a matter of time before Paris falls. I think it was like 6 weeks in real life. So yeah, nothing too surprising about the French falling, because they are the French, and everybody knows that, haha, white flag meme. But yeah, no, they're putting up a very good fight this time around. Actually, looks like Germany's taking some extremely heavy losses, almost 200,000 men so far. So yeah, they're not doing super hot, but they also took over France, and they didn't set up Vichy France. So that's a thing in this timeline, I guess. So corporate wants to find the difference between this and, our timeline's version of events, because I'll be honest with you, German Republic actually looks a little bit better than the real world Germany in 1939, because that's pretty crazy how they're doing here. That's pretty crazy. I'm impressed so far. And of course, little Benito has joined the Axis, and now Germany has a friend to the south, and the Japanese are going to be receiving some improved relations with the German Republic. But yeah, these numbers are nuts. The Soviets have 191 factories. The Germans have 298. And the British, who are incredibly powerful, have 219. Now, if we take a look over here, you can see the U.S. has more than Germany, even though they've conquered the majority of, the central portions of Europe. So yeah, once the U.S. gets involved, it's probably not going to go well for the Germans, but only time will tell. So this is pretty funny. Germany had invaded Romania to take over some lands over here, I assume. I actually don't know why exactly they declared it, but they did. As they were pushing into here, the Russians annexed Bessarabia and whatever this province is here and cut the Germans off. So now Germany, who is at war with Romania, cannot get to Romania. So that's a little funny thing over here by the man of steel himself. Now, how in the world does Germany lose 500,000 men, mostly to the UK and France, but then Italy goes in and loses 1.1 million just to the UK alone, another 250,000 to France, and 82,000 to South Africa? Okay, South Africa, I can respect that. So yeah, things are not looking good for the Axis, but you know, I mean, it's looking good for them territorially, but they are losing a lot of men. The UK has lost a lot of men as well, but like I said, the US is probably going to join, and if the Russians attack the Germans, it's game. It is done. Also over here, you see that the Italians have pushed in one province into northern Epirus here, and the rest are all just gonna die to attrition here in the mountains. And even with Germany going in to save Benito's bacon, so to speak, they're still not doing much. So who knows if these borders will even change, because these guys are all dug in, and they are going to be very defensible. Now, whether they follow through with these foul impulses or not remains to be seen, but Germany has accomplished a war goal against the Soviets. I'm curious if they're going to push it. I hope we can see it. I'd love to see them declare the war right now. Maybe all they need to do is get some men on the borders, but it looks like the Soviets are getting their men over in position, and it looks like the US has joined the other war. So yeah, things are not looking good for the Axis. I don't know. That is quite a lot of Americans here in Portsmouth, as well as over here in Dover. Looks like a cross-channel invasion may be soon in the making, very early this time around, only 1941. I don't think Germany's had enough time to build up. So if they get invaded right now, at least a good one, it's going to be game over. And as I say that the US tries to pull one over, it doesn't look like it's going to go well for them. Actually, that was the British. But yeah, they keep doing these little ones with like 3 or 4 units. Maybe they need to do a bit more research. And once they unlock the next tier of the whatever naval invasion technology, maybe they'll be able to push across the channel. Oh, this has to be it. So generally they say on the 6th of June, 1944, like that Sabaton song. But it looks like America has landed. And if they can take these boys out in Cherbourg, they now have a coastal naval base here. And I think we're probably going to see some men pile in here. Looks like the Germans are not going to be feeling too well for too long. Oh, I spoke too soon, actually. They're now kicking them out of Cherbourg. So maybe not. Yeah, the AI sent in all these men and then just didn't reinforce any of them. So they just killed themselves with a bunch. But then they're doing a couple more invasions. So the AI is just like not good at the naval invasions, man. They do them a lot, but they don't do them successfully a lot. Of course, we here have fascist Yugoslavia in the Chinese United Front fighting against the Japanese. Makes sense, I guess. Yeah, man, the US is being absolutely so stupid. They just keep sending men over, naval invading Normandy, naval invading Belgium, naval invading the Netherlands, and then they get their men killed because nobody reinforces them. So, boy for AI, friends. Also, something that I've noticed is that like every once in a while, Germany just transfers one of these states in southern France over to Italy. They started with just this one and maybe this one. Then they gave them this one, and then they gave them another one over here in the Alps, and now they're giving them this Rhone province, and I don't know why. I assume that Italy's just getting more participation. They're saying, hey, I've given some more effort into the war. You want to give me some land? At least I think that's what's going on. I really don't know. Imperialist Hungary over here not only has taken over part of northern Transylvania, but somehow they got Slovakia transferred from Germany to them. So Hungary grows. Of course, you know that the Treaty of Trianon was absolutely atrocious and destroyed that country. At least, you know, history tells us that. And yeah, so now they are one step closer to where the peak borders are. Now they just need a little bit of land over here, maybe like some Croatia, yeah, and maybe they could make something happen, but I doubt it. I strongly doubt it. Now, the Germans have declared war on Yugoslavia with their ally of Italy, but doesn't look like the borders are moving in the correct direction, at least not yet. And then, of course, we have Duke Nukem Balls of Steel. German Republic declares war on the USSR because I think they've just accepted the fate. Not only do they have half of the landed men that the Allied nations have, they're at war with all of them, and they are on every front. How many fronts does Germany have war on? Yes. And I have a feeling that this front over here on the Russian portion is going to be very, very hard to push. And just so you guys know, Albania is actually China. Albania is China. And if you can believe it, in 1942, the Germans have already lost 2.4 million men, more than Italy have. And the craziest part is they lost 600,000 men to Greece. Greece. I don't know where their priorities are at, but apparently they're not where they need to be. You can see that China has lost a ton of men. Of course they have. It's China. They're at war with Japan, and they've inflicted a ton of losses on them. But it looks like the U.S. is currently beating up on Japan. The U.K. just keeps on naval invading and dying, as expected. The U.S., same thing, naval invading and dying. But it looks like they are winning on Japan, going like 1-for-1 with Japan, almost a little less than 1-for-1. The German and Soviet border is not really moving. There's not really any offensives going on. So pretty static over here. Ooh, we lads, it is time for a major offensive. It seems that we have Barbarossa finally happening here, or at least somewhat of an offensive thing here. And they are pushing. There's a lot of green bubbles, but it actually looks like they're getting pushed back in Prussia. So maybe the Ruskies have broken through the lines, and Germany's probably going down. Just look how fast those losses are mounting up for the Soviets and the Germans alike. Just, oh my gosh, that number is going up. Every hour they're losing like thousands of men. Absolutely crazy. And yeah, I don't think Germany's going to be able to land a lot more men, or they may be able to land men, but not men with guns. At least they are 26,000 in the hole, meaning they have over 26,500 men that need a gun that don't have one currently. So the deficit it's done. They're done. We also have a naval invasion going on in southern France, pushing a bit. The United Kingdom is over here in Italy, going to be the first to fall in the row of dominoes that is the Axis powers. And yeah, the Eastern Front is also not looking very good. There's a little bit of ebb and flow, but overall, I think Germany is just not going to be able to overcome the crazy losses that they're taking on the Eastern Front. And I don't know about this one, but we have this Repubblica Sociale Italiana or whatever is a puppet state of Germany. So we have these guys in the south of Italy, in the central portions, that are a puppet government of the United Kingdom. And then up in the north, we have a puppet government of the German Republic. So both of them are republics, which is hilarious. Actually, these guys are non-aligned. So that's the thing. But yeah, I think the grip is closing in. Here we have Berlin, not quite surrounded yet, but no worries. Steiner's counterattack is coming, and he will sort out the red tide that is coming their way. I'm sure of it, aren't you guys? Meanwhile, France has been requisitioned and returned to her people, as well as Belgium, Luxembourg, and the Netherlands are getting swept through in the moment. And here it is, the fall of Berlin to the Soviet Union, November 9th, 1943, and the capitulation is very soon to come. And before the peace is actually signed here, the Germans have suffered over 8 million losses. 8 million losses they suffered, which is unreal. They are now independent again, of course, but we have our Soviet bloc over here, the Warsaw Pact, and everyone else was basically just returned to normal. However, we have the German Reich down here in what is part of Austria, and they are a fascist nation led by Joachim Weber, and that's all I know about that. They are part of the Greater East Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere, so that's a thing as well. So funnily enough, aside from losing Prussia over here, and I believe Kashubia or Hinterpommern, or however that is pronounced, they lost a couple of provinces over here that the Soviets took directly, and then they kept the Sudetenland. So the borders are actually not that bad for an independent Germany who just lost a massive war and lost like 8 million men in battle. And the fact that Austria is just like some fascist country in the south of Germany now is very, very funny. I love that a lot. But yeah, Germany got their cheeks clapped. Wasn't really expecting it, to be honest with you. They were doing really well in my test run. But hey, I'm open to seeing more. And if you guys have a suggestion of a scenario, like I said before, shuffling around some ideologies or whatnot, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this to come. And a huge shout out to the patrons and channel members who keep this channel going. If you want early access to these videos and exclusive Discord benefits, make sure you check out the link in the description or the join button below the video.